Greetings, everyone. I want to give you an overview of the powerful planetary transits that we are going to experience in 2024. There is so much to talk about, and it's going to be a very powerful year. And I will be going into the different transits much more in depth as we move through the year. But I want to give you some sense of the overarching themes so that as we enter into 2024, we can work with these energies as consciously as possible to access their gifts, to really be working with them, to be moving into the higher consciousness that we're capable of. Remember, as I talk about these planetary energies and transits, that these transits are not predictive or deterministic. They're guides. They're giving us information about the energy patterns that we're in that are supporting us in our own evolutionary journey of growth into higher consciousness. So how we respond to these energies will shape their outcome and how they manifest. So it's very important that we attune to the deeper meaning of these energies to access their gifts, to be working in concert with them rather than resisting them or trying to control them. And you're likely to see that there are a lot of different astrologers who are giving an overview of these energies for 2024. Listen to mine, listen to theirs, listen to the information, but attune to your own intuition, your own inner knowing. We are all growing in a heightened sensitivity and attunement to these energies when we open to them. So allow yourself to be in your own direct attunement to what these energies are communicating to you and how to be in your own journey of spiritual growth and evolution. If I had to summarize the powerful energies of 2024, I would summarize this upcoming year as a year of profound spiritual initiation to guide us in growing in love and wisdom, to teach us how to move beyond polarity, to move beyond fear, and to come back into balance, and to come back to living from the heart and living with our human selves in alignment with our soul selves and with cosmic consciousness. I see 2024 as an alchemical year, guiding us through a profound time of transition and transformation into the possibility of becoming the homo-luminous ones that we're capable of being. But let's talk more specifically about what energies are coming in 2024. I want to begin with the sun, our star, the center of our solar system. It is extraordinary that as we're moving into this time of accelerated change in 2024, that the sun will be moving into its maximum time of activity in its 11-year solar cycle. We're currently in solar cycle 25, and it was anticipated that we would hit the maximum peak of solar flares, solar activity in 2025. But because of where we are moving through the galaxy right now, that maximum period is now more likely to come earlier. And astronomers expect that we will be in the peak of that solar activity between January and October of 2024. What does that mean? It means that we are going to be experiencing more solar flares, more solar activity that impacts our Earth. We have been experiencing recently more M-class and X-class solar flares, which have a high intensity of radiation and energy that comes to the Earth that can impact our electrical grid, impact the internet connections, impact satellites, and affect us physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Remember that the sun and moon and planets and stars all have their own consciousness. The sun, our star, our source of light and life, is activating us with this increased solar activity. It is radiating this light that activates changes in our DNA, changes in our physical bodies. It activates us emotionally, and it's also providing us with information. Remember, light carries information. It's helping us absorb information from the light of the sun and energies coming from the galactic center to support us in moving into higher consciousness. Part of the challenge with that is it can activate different physical symptoms that we need to deal with as our bodies are trying to adjust to that influx of energy. But it also can be destabilizing emotionally. It indicates that we need to be continuing on this path that I talk about a lot of healing and clearing what we need to heal and clear in order to be able to absorb that light and energy to guide us into higher consciousness. If we haven't healed or resolved our trauma, our pain, the heavy energy that we hold from the past, then this increasing energy from the sun will activate those blocks, will try to support us in bringing them into consciousness to heal them and clear them. So know that this influx of energy from the sun is guiding us to be in an accelerated process of healing in order to open to those energies to move into higher consciousness. I believe as we heal and clear those heavy energies of what weighs us down and pulls us out of balance, then we can more easily receive that light and energy coming from the sun to be expanding our consciousness, opening us to more expanded awareness of who we are, why we're here, and how we can be agents of change in this profound time of transition on the planet. Because remember that we are in this larger shift related to the precessional cycle. And I just recently put out a video summarizing the meaning of the precessional cycle and this phase that we're in right now. So I will include that link below. But remember that every 12,000 years, at the beginning and end of a precessional cycle, which is where we are right now, we're at the end of one 24,000-year precessional cycle and the beginning of a new one. And at the midpoint, we go through the galactic sheet, or what many call the photon belt, that is this profound plane of energy that is where our sun and our solar system circles around our central sun, Alcyone, which is the brightest star in the Pleiades. And we go through this photon belt or galactic sheet of plasma, of energy that activates a magnetic reversal in the sun, that activates radical shifts in our solar system and on our Earth and in our human consciousness. The Earth's magnetic field is low right now, so these energies coming from the sun's movement through this galactic sheet are coming from the cosmic, are coming from the galactic center and are activating us to move into this higher consciousness and radically new paradigms. It is calling us into that remembrance of our deep connection with Source, with cosmic consciousness, with the spirit that is in all of life and throughout our galaxy. So we can expect more storms, we can expect more earthquake activity. These energies activate our Earth's ascension process as well as supporting us in our ascension process. So I really encourage you as we move into 2024 and throughout the year, honor the energy of the sun. Allow yourself to meditate, attune to the sun, honor this star, this consciousness that is guiding us in our own spiritual expansion. And as you relate to the sun, honor the sun, open to those energies that are guiding you in seeing what you need to heal and how you can clear your blocks and heavy energy to open more to the transformation that you're capable of as you absorb this light, this energy of divine love and wisdom, then it can be a more gentle process for you. So that is an overarching theme of 2024. And then in terms of the planetary energies, as we move into January and January 20th, Pluto will move back into the sign of Aquarius. Remember, from the perspective of evolutionary astrology, Pluto represents the evolution of our soul's journey, individually and collectively. The lunar nodes are how we work that. How do we experience that? What are the themes that we're working karmically to be in that evolutionary process? So Pluto's movement back into Aquarius is guiding us to be moving into the paradigms of the Aquarian age. And Pluto will be in Aquarius until September 1st, when it moves back into Capricorn. It will then be in its final dance in Capricorn until November 20th, when it moves fully into Aquarius. And that's the threshold point from my perspective as to when we're meant to move into the more full manifestation of the age of Aquarius. But as Pluto is moving back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn, it's guiding us in that deconstruction of the old forms and guiding us into how to move into this new age and paradigms of the Aquarian age. When Pluto moves back into Aquarius on January 20th or 21st, depending on where you are around the globe, Pluto will be at 0 degrees of Aquarius conjunct the sun at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And the lunar nodes at that time will be at 19 degrees of Libra, North Node at 19 degrees of Aries. That 19 degrees of Aries is a critical theme this year, both because that is where the North Node is as Pluto moves back into Aquarius, but that is also the exact degree of the total solar eclipse on April 8th of 2024. So what is that theme? What is the meaning of that degree of the zodiac? The meaning of 19 degrees of Aries is open to the mystery, to allow yourself to be fearless in love. So as Pluto moves into Aquarius again in January and across then the next several months in 2024, it is supporting us in how to dream and begin to attune to the energies and paradigms of the Aquarian age that we're moving into. And remember, the energy of the Aquarian age is about living in right relationship with all that is, living in justice, truth, harmony, coming back into an understanding of community, honoring the diversity of all of life, but remembering the unity of all that is, the interconnectedness and sacredness of all of life. The Aquarian symbol is that zigzag that both represents water and the living energies of the cosmos. So it again is supporting us in connecting to these energies that are coming to us from the cosmos through our sun to be in this ascension process and showing us how to manifest it, how to come back into balance, harmony, honoring of truth and justice, and being in right relationship with all that is. And the North Node at that time saying, what is the growing edge? What is some of the theme for this movement into the Aquarian age? Is how to be in the mystery, to let go of fear and open to love, to allow that to be your new sense of self, Aries. How do we allow ourselves to be in the mystery of this profound time of transmutation and to release our fear, to open to love, to be in alignment with our heart chakra that organizes our energy system so that we can be in alignment with our human self, our soul self, and cosmic consciousness. And again, on April 8th, the sun and moon will be at that degree, 19 degrees of Aries, and will be at that time conjunct the North Node, conjunct Chiron, Erisina, and Mercury. It's like this constellation of energy saying, this is how you can be on this new path. This is how you can step into new ways of being, new ways of seeing, coming out of this process of healing, Chiron, to step into the Aquarian paradigms. It is remarkable to me to attune to the dance of the transits that guide us through this profound time of transformation in such a loving, wise way. So we get that activation with Pluto moving into Aquarius. Throughout 2024, the lunar nodes will be South Node in Libra, North Node in Aries. So that started in July of 2023. And remember that Pluto was squaring the lunar nodes in Libra and Aries from July of 2023 through December. Now that we move with Pluto back into Aquarius, the lunar nodes will continue to be in Libra and Aries until January of 2025. So you can also think of the year of 2024 as the year of rebalancing the energy of Venus and Mars. Remember that Venus is the ruler of Libra, South Node. Mars, the ruler of Aries, North Node. And remember that with the lunar nodes, we're meant to work the energy of the South Node, Libra. How do we come back into balance? How do we remember our relationship with all of life? How do we come back into right relationship with ourselves, with each other, with the earth, with the cosmos, in order to activate North Node in Aries, move into new ways of being and acting and a new sense of our identity, Aries and Mars. So across the year, we're integrating the energies of Libra, Aries, Venus, Mars, being in right relationship in order to take right action from that place of being in harmony, in balance. And it's extraordinary that the eclipses in the spring We'll have a penumbral lunar eclipse on March 25th with the moon at 5 degrees of Libra, the sun at 5 degrees of Aries. And then on April 8th, we have that total solar eclipse at 19 degrees of Aries. So again, this theme of how are we integrating the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine? How are we coming back into balance with those energies? How are we coming back into that place of being centered and honoring right relationship and expression of self? Venus and Mars. Remember that the Earth is literally in the solar system between Venus, which is calling us into connection with the inner solar system, and Mars moving into the outer layers of the solar system. So connecting to Venus and that energy of Libra is about honoring our going within, doing the inner work that we need to do to come back into harmony within ourselves, to be in right relationship with ourselves, first of all, to then from that be in right relationship with other people and be in right relationship with the energies of the earth and sky and all of life. And then we can move out with the energy of Mars to activate our actions, our decisions, our expression of our sense of self from that right balance. Another really important transit is that Chiron will be conjunct the North Node. I use a 5-degree orb when I'm looking at these conjunctions, and it will be conjunct the North Node from January of 2024 to May of 2024, and it will be exactly conjunct the North Node at 16 degrees of Aries on February 19th. So as we're in this beginning energy of this accelerated time of change with 2024, and remember that by the end of January, all the planets will be going direct until May of 2024. So we're going to be feeling this accelerated time of change. As we're in that, Chiron, conjunct the North Node, is saying, heal the out of balance energies of Aries from the past, so that these new forms we're moving into are coming from a more balanced, healed, whole way of being, coming from our alignment with our soul selves and how we remember who we truly are and what we're capable of being as we're moving into this new age. That's where I think a critical theme of 2024 is going to be about the healing that we need to do to release the blocks, to release the ways in which the trauma and wounds from the past are continuing to control us and constrict us and bind us in the energy of fear. When we are caught in trauma or caught in fear, we're in a coping mode that is about survival. It's not about thriving. It's not about living from a deeper alignment with our higher self. It becomes about coping and survival and operating out of fear, which leads to reactivity and projection. And then we are continuing to play out the trauma from the past in how we act or react or hold ourselves back in a way that perpetuates the imbalance and the dysfunction. And this is how in our movement through the age of Aries, where we got out of balance with that Mars energy and got caught in conflict and that survival mentality, we have then experienced the reenactment of trauma being passed on from generation to generation across the last 4,000 years. And it is time to heal, to awaken, and to release that energy, out of balanced energy of Mars that leads to conflict, war, and the survival modality of I need control in order to feel secure. When we're operating out of fear, we tend to project those things that we fear onto others, and we tend to get caught in our own fears about loss, about death, about vulnerability, and then we lash out in some way to try to protect ourselves, or we retreat and give our power away. But either way, we are then out of balance with our true selves and our soul selves and caught in a trauma pattern. And we're seeing this not only individually in how we engage with each other, but we're seeing this collectively. Remember that at core, the wars and violence and destruction in the world come out of fear. And the way of managing fear, either by being in control to have power and dominance for that illusion of security, or it comes out of the projection of my fear onto the other. And if I destroy them, then I'll feel safe. So war comes out of that need for power and control, or the fear of death and annihilation. So we kill in order to not be killed. But what's tragic is with our out of balance dynamic with Mars energy, we've also, for the last 2,000 years, been caught in a paradigm of materialism, meaning there is no life or spirituality or existence beyond this physical reality. When we're caught in that distorted paradigm, that we are in a random, chaotic universe, and that the only thing that we know is what's visible and what's material and the physical reality around us, and my only reality is this physical body, then we are caught in fear of death, because death becomes the ultimate annihilation of the self. And then we live locked in that fear and in that paradigm of destruction, domination, control. And we are currently on a path on the earth of destroying ourselves out of that fear of death. So Chiron conjunct the North Node in Aries is supporting us in healing that and remembering who we truly are. We are soul selves that never die, that come to this earth plane to learn, grow, transform, and out of that be of service to others. When we remember that, we can move out of fear and open to that more expansive consciousness and be on a path of purpose and a path in alignment with our soul self and our soul's intentions for our growth and evolution here. And we are here to grow in love and wisdom, and then to be of service to others. This powerful year is accelerating our process of remembering that and of coming back into alignment. So as we're in this dance with Mars and Venus, they come into conjunction with each other, conjunct Pluto. They will be on February 21st, 2024, Mars and Venus will be at 6 degrees of Aquarius. They will also be squaring Jupiter and close to Chiron. Let me show you the chart. So they will be at 6 degrees of Aquarius. Here is Pluto at 0 degrees, opposite the moon, squaring Jupiter, and Chiron will be at 14 degrees of Aquarius. So you're going to have this stellium in Aquarius opposite the moon and squaring Jupiter. We're called to heal, Cheroklo, transform, and be in this more balanced energy of Venus and Mars in Aquarius as we move through this year. The meaning of that Sabian symbol, 6 degrees of Aquarius, is about breaking from tradition to create new intentions and ideals. So we're being supported in breaking out of the polarization of the sacred masculine and sacred feminine, the imbalance of our Mars-Venus energy, to bring them back into unity, to bring them back into harmony, to find that middle path where we hold their energies in an integrated way and live from right harmony, right balance, that energy of the Aquarian paradigm. Another profound and major transit in 2024 is the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus on April 20th. And they will be within a 5-degree orb conjunction with each other from March 20th through May 20th, but exactly conjunct on April 20th at 21 degrees of Taurus. This is a 14-year cycle that they are in their dance together. But it's profound when they come into this conjunction. It's starting a new 14-year cycle. And Jupiter and Uranus are about truth. Uranus shatters illusion, calls us into truth and clarity, guides us through synchronicities. And Jupiter is about our beliefs, how we understand and integrate the meaning of things. So it's a shattering of the old beliefs to move into clarity, to come back into alignment with truth. And they're in Taurus. So that understanding of truth, these new beliefs that we're being called into, are about an attunement to nature and how we understand natural law, the laws and ways of being of the cosmos, that understanding of our interconnectedness with all of life. And also being in Taurus, it's about how do we open to these new paradigms and new beliefs, but manifest them here on the earth plane in a grounded way. Taurus. I will be going into this conjunction in much more depth as we move into 2024. But let me show you where they are in the sky at the time of this conjunction. Remember that these energies speak to us not only where they are in the signs of the zodiac, but where they are visibly in the sky. Those are their archetypal energies, the meaning of their spiritual energy that's coming to us from the sky. And it's extraordinary that that exact conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus will be in this part of the sky that I've talked about a lot, in the stare of Cetus, where you have Perseus the warrior trying to slay the sea monster, Cetus the whale. And it is such a powerful paradigm for the polarity that we can get caught in between the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, between our longing for control, the warrior, the hero, and the mystery of the deep, of the natural world, of what's beyond our control. So again, they're right in the middle between Perseus and the whale, calling us into that middle alignment of the sacred masculine and sacred feminine, to bring them out of conflict, out of polarization, into harmony, into balance, into clarity and truth. And it is guiding us again to not project our fears onto what's in the deep, what's in our unconscious, what's in the natural world beyond our control. We tend to project then our own fears and see the whale as a sea monster, to be slain, to be destroyed so we feel safe. This conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus is saying, see things clearly, honor the wisdom of the deep, honor being in the mystery, honor being in this time of not knowing, of not being in control. Don't ramp up your warrior energy to lash out at everything around you to have some semblance of security in a way that actually fosters more disharmony, more destruction, more imbalance. Come back into alignment. So I think a major theme of 2024 is how do we face our fears to not get caught in projection, polarization, reactivity, acting out, that sense of our own separation from each other and the life around us. How do we face our fear to move back in to balance and harmony and alignment in order to come from a place of love and not from fear? That's a major challenge in this time when there's so much turbulence, so much change happening, earth changes, cosmic energies bombarding us, these powerful transits pulling us into an alchemical process of transmutation. It can activate our human survival fears. It is profound that the ancient mystery school traditions and the wisdom from ancient cultures and indigenous cultures was all about these rites of initiation to guide us in facing our fears and ultimately our fear of death in order to truly live, in order to be in alignment with our deeper knowing and remembrance of our soul selves, of our being a part of infinity, to realize that we are here on a path of growth and evolution. And when we remember that, we are able to move beyond our fear of death, to engage life in a more full way, to be actively, consciously working with our soul's intentions for our own growth and evolution in this time. And when we can do that in this profound time of transition that we're in, then we also become agents of change, supporting the collective transformation and transmutation process that we're in. I truly believe that this year can be a year of more fully clearing our energy bodies, healing on all levels to activate this rapid movement into higher consciousness. We have this powerful Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that I think will reverberate then through the rest of the year in guiding us in how to be coming back into alignment, coming back into clarity, breaking free from what we need to release from the past, cutting through illusions. And it's extraordinary that the meaning of 21 degrees of Taurus in the Sabian symbols is a white dove over troubled waters. How do we attune to the laws of nature to guide us back into balance? A white dove over troubled waters. And in the sky, these energies of Jupiter and Uranus pulling the polarities back to center, back into unity consciousness, back into oneness. We then have more energies playing out throughout the year from March to November 2024. The Kuiper Belt object Quaoar, the asteroid Ceres, and the centaur Pholus will all be in Capricorn, squaring the lunar nodes. That's all about healing Pholus, take the lid off, clear the ancestral trauma, heal what needs to be healed. Ceres, come back into right relationship with the earth. And Quaoar, remember how to be a part of the process of creation that is about harmony. Remember, Quawar is that creation deity that integrates the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine and calls all of life into the harmony of the spheres and to being a part of that song of the cosmos, and how to sing in harmony, in tune with each other, instead of being in this discordant cacophony that we've been in for the past few thousand years. We are being supported to heal, to awaken, to come back into alignment, and to move into this expanded consciousness in an extraordinary way that will shape all of how we perceive ourselves, how we experience the life around us, and how we act and what we manifest. It will support us in more rapidly shifting into the paradigms of the Aquarian age that can allow us to leave behind the dysfunction, the hierarchical ways of being, the destruction of the past, to move into collaboration, to co-create a new world together. Then in May of 2024, Jupiter will move into Gemini, guiding us to see and think and perceive things in new ways. Pluto will move back into Capricorn September 1st, clearing away and deconstructing whatever remains from the forms of the past that need to be deconstructed before it moves fully into Aquarius on November 20th. And then we also have the eclipses September 17th, the partial lunar eclipse, and the solar eclipse on October 2nd. As we come to the end of 2024, we have that full movement of Pluto into Aquarius. I do believe that the Kali Yuga ends with the end of 2024. And then as we move into 2025, we have Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, all shifting into new signs. We have a lot of more full capacity to be manifesting the forms of the Aquarian age. So I truly believe this, we've come out of this energy of 2023 that was calling us into healing and into this karmic choice point. Are we willing to let go of the forms and structures from the past, to come back into balance, to move into these new forms? And now 2024 is helping us to be on an accelerated path with the choice that we have made. And if we have chosen to work consciously with those energies to be on a path of growth and evolution, then I do believe we will be more fully dreaming the new forms into being, collaborating more with each other, and moving more into a sense of what is this new world we're co-creating together. However, remember that there are those who are resisting the energies of this profound transformation that we're in. And then what we might see in 2024 is the shadow side of the energy of Pluto in Aquarius, which is about a more full effort for authoritarian control, power over a global world order, an idealization of technology and of AI in order to manipulate the masses, foster fear and misinformation in order to assert more full control. That's the shadow side of what Pluto in Aquarius can manifest. And I truly believe that may activate. We're already seeing a lot more of a movement towards authoritarianism in a lot of countries around the globe. Again, I believe that's coming out of survival fear. When we feel terrified, we either lash out or we get constricted and caught in fear and want someone or something to rescue us, to assert control, to make the chaos go away, to help us feel secure again. So then we tend to give our power away to those authoritarian figures whose investment is not to help us or to do things on our behalf. It's not to be in service to humanity. It's about narcissism, power over, domination, and control. And we need to say no to that. When we face our own fear and come from that inner alignment, then we say no to that destructive paradigm. We have the choice in how we work with these energies. It is about our own consciousness that will influence how these energies manifest. And again, the sun and the earth and sky, the energy of cosmic consciousness, which is about love and wisdom, our spirit guides and helpers, the advanced beings throughout the cosmos are trying to support us in this profound time of transition and transmutation. We can open to them and open to that support, open to connecting, aligning with those of us who are part of our soul tribe, our community around the globe, to support each other in healing, in being in this profound time of transition, and to open to the energies of the cosmos that are supporting us and guiding us. And I truly believe that we have the capacity, if enough of us awaken and open to being these homo-luminous ones, that it will shift the consciousness of the collective. But if there aren't enough of us that choose that higher path, then I do believe that there will be a dimensional divide, and that those who need to go through that transition and transmutation in third dimensional reality will experience an earth reset that will be the earth's effort to bring herself back into balance and will lead to major change on the planet. But it will be calling all of us at whatever level of consciousness that we're in into a time of transmutation and transition and transformation. We're all in an alchemical process, and we can choose to work with it consciously, to open to the true gold of who we are and move into this higher level of consciousness, this time of ascension. Or we can go through that cauldron of transformation to die and be reborn and be continuing on our own journey in our own way. Let's hold with compassion that everyone is in their own choice process, that everyone is in their own journey. And we need to take responsibility for our own choices and not be in judgment of others, but hold with compassion that we're all in our own process of spiritual evolution in our own ways. But as we move into 2024, I will be talking more in future videos about how do we practically work with these energies? How do we activate this capacity to face our fears and to move into that alignment with our hearts and our soul selves? So I want to talk about that more in depth in upcoming videos, but let me say now that I think a huge piece of that is to hold that awareness that we are held in the love and wisdom of the cosmos. Remember, as I've been talking about, that moment of Sedna's being in the stormy sea, trying to cling to her father's boat and needing to let go, be in the mystery, be in the not knowing, dive into the depths in order to fully transform into her higher consciousness, to become the goddess of the deep sea. That is what we're capable of, this expanded consciousness that allows us to feel again at one with the consciousness of the cosmos and the earth and the sky and all around us. That's what we're capable of. But part of what we have to face is the mystery, the time of not knowing, and to allow ourselves to dissolve, to release those things that have given us a sense of security, to move beyond our fear into trust, into faith, into that awareness that we are held by energies larger than ourselves. And I believe that's where Neptune can help us. It can, Neptune in Pisces throughout this year, still in Pisces, is supporting us to dissolve what we need to dissolve and open to trust, to open to that memory of our soul selves, our being a part of the oneness of all that is, so that then we trust that as the foundation of our security and not our physical reality. We are meant to integrate being in physical form with our spiritual expanded self, but to not lock into our security as being in this physical reality. Our security is resting in the love of the cosmos that holds us, that never lets us go, that we are a drop in the ocean of that sea of love and cosmic consciousness, having our own unique fractal experience, but we will reemerge with that sea of love and wisdom, with all that we've learned, with all the changes that we've made, to seed that next step of our growth and evolution. And we can do that here now and be in this profound time of transmutation, to experience that awareness of our infinite selves in this creative expression and manifestation of physical form. We can bring ourselves back into that right relationship with Mars and Venus, with our inner and outer reality, with our human self and soul self, with our awareness of being in this experience, but being a part of infinity. May we support each other as we move into 2024 and be on this accelerated ride together, supporting each other, holding each other, knowing that we're not alone in this journey. We are held in the support of this community together. We are held in the soul tribe that is connecting around the globe. We are held by the energies of the sun and earth and cosmos. We are being guided by these spirit guides and beings from the other realms who are supporting us in our new birth into this new consciousness and new way of being. Blessed be.